Well, living in Chad is much different than, of course, living in America. So poverty is a major issue there, just as one of the elements. Next, a man who grew up in neighboring Sudan, which is right next door. Joining me in the newsroom, he's right here. We'll talk about the harsh realities of life in Central Africa and what it means to be a child in limbo in a situation like this.
American Morning, Monday, 6 Eastern.
We're talking this hour about the story surrounding a purported European aid group and more than 100 African children. Members of the group were about to fly children to Europe when the organizers were arrested in Chad October 25th on suspicions related to kidnapping of these kids. The group says its plan was purely humanitarian, meant to rescue the children from the crisis in Darfur. But questions have surfaced about the group's motivations and its procedures and whether the children were actually orphans. Come to find out, many of these kids were actually just snatched from their families there in Chad. The region in question is torn by chaos, and the children, by the thousands, have lost parents. In 1987, a group of some 20,000 orphaned refugees was forced to leave Sudan. They suffered horrendous hardships, and many died during a journey that eventually led them to Ethiopia and other parts. The group became known as the Lost Boys of Sudan. One young man, Nathaniel York, was part of that group. He came to the U.S. in 2001 and is now a student at Georgia Perimeter College here in suburban Atlanta. Good to see you, Nathaniel. And the reason why we wanted to invite you, too, because you can help us understand what a child who's been removed from their family, like these kids have been at a very young age. You were 8. That feeling of loss, that feeling of confusion.
Yes.
How do you identify with what's going on?
Well, what is going on, I think, is very terrible, and whether it is a violation or a rescue, I think it cannot be tolerated, because being a kid and you live alone in the jungle or doing something by yourself is sometimes quite ununderstandable. You don't understand it, why, whether it is a punishment from God or whether you have done something bad to the society. And when I was 8 years old, we were forced out of our villages from Sudan. And from there, we didn't know what to expect. But we were just there knowing that God is there for us. We live just daily, on daily basis. You don't know whether you're going to survive or dead tomorrow. And basically, we took up responsibilities ourselves because we know there was nobody around to give us the love that we want. There was nobody around to make decisions for us. Being a child, you are just playful. You don't know what you are doing, or you don't know whether you are going to make bad or good decisions.
And when we looked at the video here of these kids, as young as 3, 4, 2, you know, in this room, confused, you talk about that feeling of loneliness and loss and even wondering if they were being punished. Do you think that these little kids, even if they are returned to their rightful families, will they forever be scarred even for that month or two of confusion in this situation?
Yeah, well, definitely they are going to be forever scared, because right now they are confused just like we were. They don't know where they are now. And for these few days that they have been away from their families, they have missed a lot. They have missed all that they need. They have missed the parental love, and they have missed everything that a parent can give to their children.
Does this make you angry or upset to see that this is happening?
Well, it's quite inspiriting. Something like this is very bad, and it makes me feel bad because we don't expect to see something like this at this time.
Meantime, your mom, brother and sister still in Sudan. While you are here, you've had an opportunity to pursue your education. You have to miss home. Do you feel, is it bittersweet that you had an opportunity to pursue this part or this path of your life, or do you feel like you wish you could still be with your family in Sudan?
Well, you know, chances are very limited. But right at this time, I'm now trying to pursue my education. But psychologically, I don't feel home. I always miss my parent, I always miss my sibling, I also miss the society itself. I want to be home, I want to see the family, that one took care of me. And sometimes there are days that my heart troubles a lot when I hear the news in Sudan that things are going bad, because I know people will not get actually what they need. They will be suffering like I once was. So all the time I wanted to be with them and see them, even if I can see them just once, because I have not seen them in 20 years.
Since you were 8 years old.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Nyok, thanks so much. All the best to you.
Thank you.
And hope you get a chance to get reunited with your family.
Thank you so much.
Well, we're going to continue.